Movement. And today I have something really exciting, and that is super brain performance. Who wouldn't like to be smarter? And in all aspects of life, not only in relationships and business, uh, and actually just feel better. Now, I had put down here in the whole description of this video, this is not about nootropics or vitamins or any of those supplements or anything like that. What today I'm going to educate you on and also show you a way to boost your mental performance today. So, in order that you appropriately understand what's happening, describe a little bit of what happens with our neurology. And that is that the eyeballs, the brain, and the spinal cord are one neurological system. The eyes are simply just part of this. Now, really interesting fact is if you go through a trauma, let's say you played football when you were a kid, or boxing or mixed martial arts, and you got hit in the head, you got a concussion. Most people forget about this because it seems almost like a non-event. You get a headache for a while, you're dizzy, within a day or two it's all over with, and it doesn't actually hurt inside the brain. You don't feel anything, but the damage is done. And an untreated concussion, as Dr. Daniel Amen says, is an untreated concussion. So the damage there is done. We don't have access to that part of the brain. Now, as it turns out, I was just referring to Dr. Daniel Amen. He had done 180,000 brain scans, I think, last I had looked. And these brain scans, they show areas of activity, inactivity, hyperactivity, all these different things. And he was not only a radiologist that had done brain scans, but a psychologist as well. And he's famous for saying, as psychologist, they were the only doctor that didn't look at the organ that they were treating. And he went about the business of changing that. Took a lot of flack for it, but it made sense, and he discovered so many things. So, how does this apply to what I'm talking about today? It turns out that if you have not only an injury, like we talked about, but if you were injured in a different way, you grew up the child of an alcoholic parent, you were beaten as a child, during your teenage years, you had some horrific thing happen, the death of a loved one, all kinds of different things that basically will act exactly like a physical injury. And we know this from the brain scans. So, so the reason I bring this up regarding super brain performance is that we can see the areas of your brain that are not active. How do we do that? One of the ways that we do that is through your eyeballs. So if you were to, for example, move your eyes all the way around, there's going to be a place that maybe is difficult for you to look. Maybe actually you have no vision in. You'll be like looking, and then you'll start coming over here and you actually don't see anything. And when you can't see something, you become disinterested. Or if it's an area that's difficult to look, you won't look there because it's difficult, right? Why would I look at somewhere that is very hard for me to look? If I start feeling like, it's difficult there. My eyes, they feel as if they're strained, or if they're itchy, they feel like there's some sand in there. If I look over here, like there's an eyelash, or I find I'm incessantly blinking. or it makes me really tired. These are all signs of an area of the brain that's not active. So you're starting, I can see the wheels are already turning for you. The area that you're looking in has a particular place in the brain. Wherever I'm looking is a different part of the brain that lights up. So, if we can help you to get a full range of motion with visibility, what happens is you have access to other parts of your brain. It's kind of an amazing thing. In very practical terms, if you watch someone and they're telling you a story, you're going to see their eyes dart to a certain location. They maybe have a few, like a dance move, a few locations that they go to. But notice where they don't go repeatedly. That area is an area that they may really not have access to, or they may have a brain injury of some kind, which is caused emotionally or physically. They act the same again. And if they were to put their eyes down into that position where they don't ordinarily go, where they were uncomfortable, what will happen is they will get all new answers, all new perspectives. So when we do this work with cognitive movement, I'm getting into things right now with you that are basically at the practitioner level. These are for information that typically we give to a practitioner so that they can help another person. But I thought it would be really valuable for everyone to understand a couple of different facts about themselves, and that they can do something about getting the performance back in their lives. There's many things that happen once all the system comes online. And the very first one is perspective. They have a much broader perspective, physically and literally, like metaphorically as well. All of life, I should say. They can take in other points of view. People that are narrow minded also have narrow vision. As we age, if you look at senior citizens, very senior citizens, their periphery vision starts to shut down. And also their periphery vision metaphorically shuts down. With people that are on the spectrum, they're also shut down. They fixate, and they're also, the vision won't move as well. This has to do with other parts of the brain. The smart people that are open to many different perspectives, seeing other points of view. The genius level actually doesn't even attach to a particular perspective. They look at things from multiple perspectives. And that's what makes them geniuses, is that they're not fixated. So this process that you can go through to start to get the system online and working will produce broader perspective. You'll also find a lot more energy in your life. You will see things that need to get done and have the energy to do them. You'll have better relationships because you'll be able to see another person's point of view and not fixate, it's got to be this way. You'll be able to actually figure things out. The way I hear from students is that they say, you know what? The work just became possible and I was able to do my homework. And it didn't seem like a big deal anymore. fixation on sadness or fears or griefs, those sorts of things. Again, when you bring the brain, the full brain online, you're able to move through life with ease. So I wanted to just bring all of this out to you today to show you physically, if you move your eyes and notice, if you just move them very, very slowly, you'll find these places where you start incessantly blinking, or you may find where you cannot keep your eyes there, or they feel like they're pulling, or you're blinking a lot, or you have a blind spot. Look around the room, try it out for yourself. You'll also notice that if you move your eyes from left to right, there may be a side that's really hard for you to go. It feels like straining over to one side relative. They slip easily this way, but very difficult that way. This has to do with left brain, right brain. Anyway, this is a lot of information in a short period of time. I hope you enjoyed it. There's many other cognitive movement videos. If this is of interest to you, we go into a lot of depth with this in the Cognitive Movement Practitioner Training Program. I believe that there is a link down there. If you don't see a link, which because maybe I'm technologically challenged, info at cognimovement.com. Info at cognimovement.com. Also, if you go to cognimovement.com, you can get yourself 2 free ebooks. They're available to you there. One of them is called Suffering is Optional. I know that's a crazy title, but once you understand this, it's true. And the other one is called the Tiny Book of Big Manifesting. Hope you enjoy that. If you want to learn more, thank you. If you leave a note in the comments, we'll try to respond and answer any questions that you might have. Thank you.